Hello. Today I will be talking about the first case study of the course Folk and Minor Art in India, which will be about Gond art tradition of Madhya Pradesh. The Gonds are amongst the largest tribes in central India, which number around 4 million. Though predominantly centered in Madhya Pradesh, they are also present in significant numbers in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, and also Odisha. The word Gond comes from the Dravidian expression Kond, which means the green mountain. The recorded history of the Gond people goes back 1400 years, but considering that they inhabit the areas where rock paintings date back to the Mesolithic era, their antecedents probably date back even further. And many of the Gond customs echo that of their Mesolithic forebearers. An obvious example of this is the custom of decorating the walls of their houses, an activity which may have its origins in the cave dwelling traditions of our ancestors. The work of Gond artists is rooted in their folk tales and culture, and thus storytelling becomes a strong element of every painting. The Gonds paint their walls with vibrant depictions of local flora, fauna, and gods such as Marahi Devi and Fulwari Devi and Bagaisur. Needless to say, these are all different incarnations of gods of Hindu pantheon. Traditionally, these paintings are made on festive occasions such as Karwa Chauth, Deepavali, Holi, Nag Panchami, and other festive occasions. They depict various celebrations, rituals, and man's relationship with nature. The artists use natural colors derived from charcoal, colored soil, plant sap, leaves, and cow dung. This mystical art form is created by putting together dots and lines, and the imaginative use of the line imparts a sense of movement to the still images. The paintings are an offering as a worship of nature and are also mode of seeking protection and warding off evil. Today, many talented Gond artists' work, including that of Ram Singh Urvetis, can be seen on canvases in art galleries internationally. And one of the distinctive elements is the use of signature patterns that are used to infill the large forms on the canvas. A certain sense of balance and symmetry can be observed in the patterns used, such as the spiral forms along the trees, leaves, animals, and human figures. Painted in several bright colors, the placement of motifs showcasing village life and the blending of human figures with rituals and nature depicts the Gonds' inherited skills and creativity. In the eyes of the Gond artists, everything is sacred and intimately connected to nature. Thus, the unique oral narrative tradition of the Gonds is reflected in their paintings as well. The work of these artists is rooted in their folk tales and culture, and thus storytelling is a very important element of every painting. However, every artist today has a personal style and has developed a specific language within these narratives, creating a richness of aesthetic forms and styles. So, this was about Gond art in general. In the second part of this lecture, I'll talk about it will be useful to look at the work of a particular artist, Mr. Ram Singh Urveti. who is from Patangarh village in Madhya Pradesh. Ram Singh Urveti, along with the Jangar Singh Shyam, is one of the historical figures in contemporary Indian tribal art. Encouraged by Jagdish Swaminathan, he was one of the first to go from ephemeral art to painting on canvas at the beginning of 1980s. His paintings celebrate the spirit of his tribe. Gond tribe does not have a single god or a single group of gods. They have different deities for different castes and subgroups. So Ram Singh Urveti's clan worships Bada Dev or Thakur Dev, which is another incarnation of Lord Shiva, who is worshipped all over the tribe. Shiva is their Gram Devta. He has a very different way of approaching an empty canvas, as he does not render drawings first in pencil. He straightaway uses paints on white or colored backgrounds. And even though he has traveled far and wide, he hardly uses any external influences or symbolisms and only uses his repeated motifs of flowers, trees, animals, and birds, and characteristically uses gods wearing only jewelry. We can frequently see Bada Dev, animals such as spiders, water life such as tortoise and crabs in his canvas and wall art. Tree is an omnipresent element in his paintings, as according to him, gods need a ground to sit or work upon, and a background to showcase their powers on, and trees fulfill that purpose in the best manner. The subjects that he paints are informal, evanescent in nature. They belong to the spirit world. Cattle, totems, men, shamans, offering jars, snakes, and intertwining trees are transformed and mutate into improbable silhouettes, like those in dreams and folktales. The absence of any contour to outline the shapes, except for the eyes, strengthens this effect. Ram Singh's drawing possesses an enigmatic force. He focuses his interest on the tree trunks in order to evoke serene power. The trunk is a concentration of energy and, like the mountain, seems indestructible. In this way, the spirits often take on the squat shape of that part of the tree. They take up the space on the canvas in an imposing manner, structuring and organizing it. The patterns and their placements within the space have the simplicity and the graphic efficiency of, say, flags. These spontaneous elevations, similar to the line growing on termite mounds, to erect stones, or more precisely to a tree trunk, gives his canvases the heraldic look of animistic flags. The visual forthrightness, reinforced by the rounded shapes, also evoke another artistic movement, graffiti or wall art in modern times. Mysteriously, for reasons unknown, Gond art also has many similarities with Australian Aboriginal art. Now, in the last part of the lecture, I'll talk about his painting, The Birth of Existence, which he made in 3 days when he was here in IIT Kanpur campus. The story behind the iconography used, which shall help us in understanding and appreciating the painting better, goes like, once everything in existence was water. The gods, they got bored of it. They got bored of the non-activity. So they asked Bada Dev, how can we take forms and live and have some adventures? Bada Dev said, there is nothing. So even if I make you alive, where will you go? What will you do? So, uh, Shiva or Badadev, he made some white birds and sent them to look for solid grounds or earth. For eons they searched, they found nothing and got tired flying. Sheshnag or the divine snake was in the ocean, and so the birds, in order to rest, landed on him. He got angry and he let off his venom, which turned one of the birds black. Another bird sat on a crab whose name was Kekda Mal. The crab asked, I've never seen one such as you. Who are you? They replied, Badadev had sent us. So this Kekda Mal, he knew that earth was in underground. Earth was hidden underground. So Kekda Mal said that I'll take you to Nand Raja and Nand Rani, who were a pair of earthworms and who were responsible for hiding the earth deep underground. Nand Raja and Nand Rani, they said no. They said, if you take earth, what will we eat? And they stood their ground even after a lot of begging and pleading. So the crab, he took some earth out of the earthworm's mouth, molded it into 3 mounds and took it to Shiva, who then proceeded to make 3 worlds, including earth, from the mounds. Now another deity had a problem with Shiva making earth, so she took the form of a spider and started unmaking earth. So Shiva had to pacify her and then was finally able to complete the job. So Badadev then made earth and the 3 worlds. So this story, as depicted in this painting, gets repeated over and over, as existence will get destroyed and will be remade again and again. In conclusion, Gond art comes with the belief that a good image brings good luck. This inherent belief led the Gonds to decorate their houses and floors with traditional tattoos and motifs. Fortunately, Gond art hasn't escaped the eyes of art connoisseurs in the country. Even the Indian government is making efforts to preserve Gond paintings. Unlike so many treasures of Indian culture that have slipped through the cracks of time and were lost forever, the future of Gond art looks as vibrant, as colorful as the paintings. Thank you.